Off Limits is the money podcast that blows up stereotypes, showing you that managing money doesn't have to be hard.
We want you to thrive, not only with your money, but in every part of your life.
What you will get out of this podcast is real, relatable, and relevant tips and strategies that you can apply today. Hi, I'm Donald Raymond, and this is
Christine Spiak. We are money coaches, business owners, and colleagues who are passionate about helping you become more of who you are. So if you're ready, join us.
I want to hear a little bit of the challenge piece as we dive in here, as we're getting to know you guys a little bit better. The challenges of applying some of these concepts on your own. Can you unpack that a little bit more for us? What are some of like the top 2 or 3 that come to mind as you were just getting started, and then things that you've learned to do?
When you're single and alone, and when we both start, we weren't together yet. You have to be motivated with yourself. And it is so easy at any age to look outside, hang out with your friends, see what's going on, want to keep up with everybody, go on that trip that your college friends have gone together to go on, buy that latest car, and all that stuff. It is very difficult to self-motivate yourself. And then when you bring in such numbers, like if you have any type of debt, or if you're trying to save up an emergency fund, not too many people understand what an emergency fund is. It's not really what society tells us to do. So you have to find the willpower to do it, and then somehow find the way to, be able to save while still dealing with inflation, or dealing with whatever the job pays you, or whatever that is going on in your life. And so that can be difficult.
Yeah, it was, I think, I had recently moved to DC, and I had got the good job, right? I was thinking, this is the time things are going to be awesome. I wanted to go out with friends. I wanted to meet people, right? I wanted to explore the big city, and
all of a sudden you could,
expensive. Right? Yeah, and also, but we were in COVID, so it was a great way to force yourself to save. But at the same time, as we were coming out of COVID, and it's really hard to not want to keep, like they said, keep up with the Joneses kind of situation. You want to go see everything, you want to go do stuff, but it's learning to adapt to another person's budget is definitely a challenge. Like when someone else's budget also becomes our budget, that's when you're coming together and finding those compromises for what works for 2 people is definitely a challenge.
I am hearing so much relatable, and I'll call it material or experiences through your lives that I think so many people can identify with and relate to, and like, yeah, I'm in that position too, or I've been in that position, or maybe they don't know it yet, but maybe they're single and they are getting into a relationship and they're going to be in the exact position that you are in today. There's so much that you're sharing that Donald read in your intro and that you're starting to share as we're talking that is, I think, really hitting the nail on the head for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. It was those we kind of talked about in the intro, which was those conversations of going through a budget for that first 6 months was, that was something else. We still go through it and like have to go through and say, all right, where is this dollar going? Where's this dollar going? Why is, we have like special categories for like work food and things like that. And like how much I'm spending at work when I hit the vending machine, all these different things. And just having to be so accountable for so many things. But at the same time, when we sit down and actually have all these budget meetings, it's great to say, oh, I'm on track, or I stayed within the set budget that we had talked about. And you can find those little wins in there. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah. And what about even just being on the same page with each other?
Yeah.
Being on the same page is key when you're in a relationship. When you're single, your page is your page.
Right.
You're going to win or lose based on yourself. So for, all those single people out there, like having an accountability partner is important. Somebody who's there in your corner, maybe doesn't understand what you're going through because they're not going through it, but they can still be a friend. There are more people in the world, even as close as like, family, who have no idea, no idea, will not do this, don't do this, and think that you're crazy. And so having that one person as an accountability partner, we're lucky, right? In a relationship, like as a relationship, you have exponential growth. You can grow twice as fast. You can also sink twice as quickly if you're not on the same page, or you don't have the same goals, or you don't have the same vision. And a single person's vision is not necessarily, the best. Budgeting is not easy. The intro said I wanted him to take FPU for the budget, but don't kid yourself. I also didn't know how to do a budget for the, when I was first in college and out of college and everything like that. It was trial and error. Now, after many, many years, I got a budget that worked for me, but that was as a single person. And then once, we became a partnership, it's communication, because we both have goals and dreams, but then again, he goes into the office more so than I do. So he has the same stuff that going into the office deals with, which is, the commute and that vending machine. I go in the office too, not as often, and I have the same stuff. And so factoring in things into the budget that, works for our family means like we have a category. Well, we have two categories, a travel category and an electronics category, that are the exact same price and are the last that are going to be decreased, because travel is incredibly important to me and electronics is incredibly important to him. And those are kind of the categories that we've identified, are for our mental health as well. So we will get rid of the vending machine category before we get rid of those two.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Off Limits.
Beyond the podcast, we are money coaches who want to help you.
So if you are looking for help managing your money, use the links in the description below to contact either of us and learn how coaching can help you thrive.
Lastly, please help us to spread the word by subscribing, leaving a comment, and sharing our podcast with your friends and family.